95.5.
95.5.
95.5.
JFM.
We are the best.
From JFM 95.5 studio, here is the news.
The time is 8 o'clock. We are listening to JFM 95.5, Jelai Garden City off Ogboro Road, Shaki, Oyo State, Nigeria. Many thanks for joining us. Good morning, and here with the Hotnews. I am Rashidat Kilani. We will ensure potato value chain achieves full potential, says federal government. As agribusiness continues to receive a boost at the nation's new economic lifeline, the federal government yesterday assured full realization of potential in the potato value chain. This assurance was made by the Director, Federal Department of Agriculture, Hajia Karima Babangida, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development at the Potato Value Chain Stakeholders Meeting on adoption and utilization of orange-fleshed sweet potato (OFSP) held in Oshogbo, Osun State. According to Babangida government, also seeks a collective way to map out a roadmap for the potato value chain in the southwest region and the country at large. She further complained and stated that the ministry is firmly committed to supporting the agricultural drive of the Buhari-led administration in the bid to achieve diversification of the economic and massive create jobs for the teeming youth. We will ensure potato value chain achieves full potential, says federal government. Atiku not fit to contest for president, Malami tells court. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami San has urged that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is not eligible under the Constitution to contest for president. The AGF argued that having not been born a Nigerian or by a Nigerian parent and having not met the provisions of Section 25, Subsection 1 and Subsection 2 and Section 131, Article A of the Constitution, Atiku would be violating Section 118, Subsection 1, Article K of the Electoral Act should he put himself forward as candidate. This formed part of the AGF's argument in support of the suit filed before the Federal High Court in Abuja by the Incorporated Trustees of Egalitarian Mission for Africa. The EMA is challenging Atiku's eligibility to contest for president and praying the court to hold, among others, that considering the provisions of Section 25, Subsection 1 and Subsection 2, and Section 131, Subsection 1 of the Constitution, and the circumstances surrounding his birth, the former vice president cannot contest for the top office. Atiku not fit to contest for president, Malami tells court. Absence of leadership responsible for factions in Akwa Ibom APC, says stakeholder. A stakeholder of the All Progressives Congress APC Akwa Ibom State Chapter, Comrade Athanasius Okon, has blamed the different factions in the party on the absence of a leader in the state. Okon made the assertion yesterday in Uyo while reacting to fresh controversy in the party over her stakeholders meeting convened by chieftain of the party, Group Captain Sam Iwang, on March 28, 2021, which saw the formal endorsement of Minister of Niger Delta Affairs Senator Godswill Akpabio as leader of the party. He revealed that the poor outing recorded by APC in the state since 2014 as a result of lingering battle among the key stakeholders over who leads APC in Akwa Ibom that factionalized the party into more than two groups. He stressed that it was the need to avert a recurrence in 2023 that prompted Sam Ewang to ask Godswill Akpabio to come back to the state and take up responsibility, which statutorily fell on him, as the state governor belongs to opposition People's Democratic Party. Absence of leadership responsible for factions in Akwa Ibom APC, says stakeholders. Implementation of consolidated salary not possible in March, says Kano government. Kano state government yesterday said it was unable to implement the consolidated salary in March due to a drop in its federal allocation. This is contained in a statement signed by the State Commissioner for Information, Mr. Mohammed Garba, in Kano. The commissioner explained that the drop in the federal allocation for March made it's difficult for the government to implement the new salary package. The state government, according to Garba, received 12.4 billion naira from the federation account, out of which the state collected 6.1 billion naira. The 44 local governments collected 6.3 billion naira. He pointed out that a meeting between the government and the labor union in May 2020, there was an understanding that government would pay workers' salaries based on a percentage of the total disbursements received. The commissioner, however, recalled that Kano was the first among few states to agree to the implementation of the minimum wage without any hesitation. Implementation of consolidated salary not possible in March, says Kano government. Ibom spends 1.5 billion naira annually on external examinations in public schools, says Commissioner. The Akwa Ibom State Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Induensit Etiebet, says the state government spends 1.5 billion naira yearly on external examinations in public secondary schools in the state. Etiebet made the disclosure during an interactive session with newsmen in a Kit local government area of the state yesterday. The commissioner, however, said that the governor had set a standard to the effect that at least 80% of the students must have A's in 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics in the state. Etibe said that the governor had declared a state of emergency in education sector, adding that efforts were being made to provide safe and conducive environment for the education of Akwa Ibom children. She called on individuals and stakeholders to join hands with government in its quest to provide quality education in the state. Akwa Ibom spends 1.5 billion naira annually on external examinations in public schools, says Commissioner. NAD orders COVID-19 doctors to join strike, threatens 5 million fine. The National Association of Resident Doctors has ordered doctors at the COVID-19 isolation centers to join the nationwide strike. It began on April 1st, 2021. The NAD has also threatened to impose a fine of 5 million naira on any of its branches that failed to join the strike. It also said branches found wanting would not be able to hold the national position for the next 2 years, while the president of NAD, Uyuluwa Okozuyi, in an interview with one of news correspondents, disclosed the directive to doctors at the isolation centers. The threat to impose a 5 million naira fine on errant branches was contained in an internal memo sent out to members of the National Executive Council of the association. It will be recalled that NAD, an association of doctors undergoing residency training, had on April 1st, 2021 begun a nationwide strike over government failure to pay salaries of house officers and review 5,000 naira hazard allowance of doctors. NAD orders COVID-19 doctors to join strike, threatens 5 million naira fine. APC asked Amechi Abe to reconcile within 3 months. The All Progressives Congress in Ahoada local government area of Rivers State has given the Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi and Senior Magnus Abe 3 months to settle their differences or face sanctions, rising from an extraordinary meeting of the party held in Ahoada East local government area of the state. Leader of the group, Ibiso Unwonche, said the ultimatum was due to the failure of the APC leadership in the state. Tegbe Akode Sadipe celebrates Florence Ajimobi at 62. A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Engineer Olasukomi Joseph Tegbe, and the member representing Oluyole Federal Constituency, Honorable Tolulope Akande Sadipe, have congratulated Dr. and Mrs. Florence Ajimobi, wife of former governor of Oyo State, His Excellency Abiola Ajimobi, as the state as she clocked 62. They congratulated her in separate statements made available to newsmen yesterday. Tegbe stated that Florence Ajimobi has become a household name within and outside the shores of the country. He also hailed her for her cancer awareness, which, according to him, has brought hopes and lives to people. He said, Dr. Mrs. Florence Ajimobi has become a household name within and outside the shores of Nigeria for her strength, tenacity, and business acumen. She remains a pillar of support to many women and men alike across the country. Tegbe Akande Sadipe celebrates Florence Ajimobi at 62. Southeast killings, we are hiding our faces in shame, says Umahi. Ebonyi State Governor and Chairman Southeast Governors Forum, David Umahi, on Sunday said governors of the region were currently hiding their faces in shame. Umahi stated that the herdsmen they fought hard to protect were the ones killing the people. The governor made this remark in Abakaliki, the state capital, when Vice President Yemi Osinbajo paid a condolence visit to the state on Sunday. Umahi said 3 communities of Obeagu, Egedegede, and Umuazu in the Ishelu Council area and the Effium community in Uwaku local government area of the state needed the sum of 5 billion naira from the federal government to rebuild their homes and resettle. Umahi added, "We demand that justice be given to the victims. This is the agreement and this is the promise I made to the people of Ebonyi State during our extraordinary meeting on how to calm the situation." Southeast killings, we are hiding our faces in shame, says Umahi. Police rescued 2-year-old twins locked up for 3 days without food. The police in Ekiti State on Monday rescued a set of 2-year-old twins whose mother, Joy, locked in a room for about 3 days without food at Igbaraudo in Ekiti's southwest local government area of the state. Sources said the woman allegedly threatened to kill the babies if anyone forced her to open the door. According to the sources, the woman said she was taking the step to protest her neglect and abandonment by the father of the kids. Since she got pregnant and in the face of hard times, the State Commissioner of Police Tunde Mobayo said his men, upon a call from a Good Samaritan, swung into action, rushed to the scene, and tactically rescued the kids. The police public relations officer Sunday Abutu, who made this known in a statement in Ado-Ekiti titled, "Ekiti Police Rescued 2 Babies," said the command received a distressed call that the woman locked up her twin babies in her room for about 3 days without food and threatened to kill them should anyone compel her to open the door. Police rescued 2-year-old twins locked up for 3 days without food. Lagos-based pastor kidnapped in Ondo found dead after 2 million naira ransom. Tragedy struck in Ifira Akoko community in Akoko South local government area of Ondo State on Easter Sunday as the lifeless body of a man, Frederick Aramuwa, was found beside the road. It was gathered that Aramuwa, who was a pastor in Lagos State, was earlier abducted by hoodlums on the Indoani-Ifira road and was taken to an unknown destination. According to a source in community, the pastor was going to Ifira Akoko from Lagos with his driver and was not seen since March the 31st, 2021. It was later discovered that the deceased was abducted a few kilometers to Ifira, his hometown. The Asiwaju of Ifira Akoko, Chief Boboye Ojomo, who described the incident as very sorrowful and tragic, appealed to the government to intensify efforts to rehabilitate the Ipele Idoani Ifira road because the bad condition of the road was a major factor aiding incessant kidnapping and robberies in the area. Lagos-based pastor kidnapped in Ondo found dead after 2 million naira ransom. Arrested in Kogi with Buhari must go posters. The Kogi State Commissioner of Police Ayuba Ede has confirmed the arrest of 2 persons for embarking on a smear campaign against the President Muhammadu Buhari in Lokoja. Speaking with news correspondents on Monday in Lokoja, the CP said around 2:30 a.m. on Monday, personnel of the command arrested 2 young men who were painting buildings and pasting posters with the inscription Buhari must go. The police boss stated that while citizens had the right to protest, such must be done lawfully without inciting the public. He added that the young men could not have been protesting in the dead of the night as was being insinuated, noting that painting walls and pasting anti-Buhari posters could not be termed as a peaceful protest. Ede added that the command was working around the clock to ensure the protection of lives and property and warned mischief makers to stay clear of the state as the command would arrest perpetrators. 2 arrested in Kogi with Buhari must go posters. Arrested for killing 57-year-old suspected of having affairs with wife. The Adamawa State Police Command has apprehended a 30-year-old man for stabbing a 57-year-old man to death at his residence over suspicion that the victim was having an affair with his wife. The suspect, John Samuel, a resident of Bandasaga village, Ghanaian local government area, according to the police, returned home on Sunday around 11 p.m. and met victim in his house. There and then, he suspected the victim of coming to have an affair with his wife. All of a sudden, he stabbed him with a knife and left him in a pool of blood. The State Police Public Relations Officer Suleiman Ingoroje has said. Ingoroje disclosed that the victim, identified as Yaji Lawal, a resident of Bakari Guso village, was rushed to the hospital but was later confirmed dead. He said that the police swiftly moved and arrested the culprit, who is a father of 3 children. Man arrested for killing 57-year-old suspected of having affairs with wife. COS boss orders investigation into Imo jailbreak. The Acting Controller General, Nigerian Correctional Service, Mr. John Irambure, has ordered a comprehensive investigation into the incident that occurred at the Owerri Custodial Center in the early hours of Monday, April 5th, 2021. The Service Public Relations Officer, Mr. Francis Enobure, disclosed this in a statement made available to newsmen earlier today in Abuja. Irambure said that the assignment, which would be carried out in collaboration with other security organizations, has commenced with a search and recovery operations to recapture the fleeing inmate. Newsmen reported that the Owerri Custodial Center in Imo had been attacked by unknown gunmen who forcefully released a total of 1,844 inmates in custody. NCOC boss orders investigation into Imo jailbreak. IMF excludes Nigeria from debt relief. Nigeria has been excluded from the list of 28 countries granted debt pardon by the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund. The board has approved a third tranche of grants for debt service relief for 28 member countries under the Catastrophe, Containment and Relief Trust Fund. This approval followed two prior tranches approved on April 13, 2020 and October 2nd, 2020 respectively. This tranche of grants for debt service relief will continue to help free up scarce financial resources for vital emergency health, social, and economic support for mitigate the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, subject to the availability of sufficient resources in the CCRT. The debt service relief could be provided for the remaining period through from October 16, 2021 to April 13, 2022, amounting to a total of about $964 million. IMF excludes Nigeria from debt relief. And that's how far we can take us this morning on Hot News from the beautiful studios of JFM 95.5, Jejjelai Garden City off Ogboro Road, Shaki, Oyo State, Nigeria. Many thanks for your time and attention. And remember that COVID-19 is real. Please stay safe and take responsibilities. Thank you for listening. Good morning. My name is Rashidat Kilani.